Fly away.
I knew they were trying to do that whole like, but there. They're not, and they're looking for a musician, and if you want to, like,
no, it depends how long.
I'm just saying, between 4 you like it.
Joe, are you staying here?
Why is the hope away so why don't why does it look like a joke? Why do the bones of the bone and drops? Why is Jesus Christ giving out free hugs? Why do the bone bar make that? Why do we ever never gonna cut these hands? Why do the facts on both sides? Facts why do you the reason I'm in a place of rights? Why do the chicken cross the road? Only to escape when they come me rape. Don't think to pay the wrong and an anime. Take a look at your pet mate. Why do the chicken cross the road? Only to escape when they come me rape. Don't think to pay the wrong and an anime. Take a look at your pet mate.
About their one-sided history. Revolutionary minds don't give a damn. The revolution will set us free.
And I don't say that change must come, but it won't come if we just sit down and do nothing. We must fight for freedom, because fighting for freedom is a revolutionary act.
Women shall not be property. When revolution come on. And no one shall be judged by the color of their skin.
Civil disobedience. That is not our problem. Our problem is civil obedience. Our problem is the numbers of people all over the world who have obeyed the dictates of the leaders of their government and have gone to war. And millions have been killed because of this obedience. We recognize this for Nazi Germany. We know that the problem there was obedience. That the people obeyed Hitler. People obeyed. That was wrong. They should have challenged. And they should have resisted.
Revolutionary minds don't give a damn. When a baby in the palace is born. Revolutionary minds don't give a damn. When the baby in the palace is born. Revolutionary minds don't give a damn. About to get some this year's reason. Revolutionary minds don't give a damn. Revolutionary ways their thing. Revolutionary mind, proud and dangerous. Revolution. The DJ on my show, he was in. He's launching on my show, he man out. The singers and players, poets and soothsayers. Them a mash up the grammar. The president a mash up the resident. The president a mash up the resident. So make the resident come listen. Just make the resident just listen. The president a mash up the resident. Love that life in there. Vegan! Come on, y'all, them vegan and we live that life in love. Love that life in there. Okay, it's not the last one.
beautiful peeps at lovely rainy Campout. Woo! Loving the rain. Gotta embrace it. Nature's shower. Ready to rock and roll, guys. So, there's big queues for the booze. Such a cool vibe here. Everyone's loving it. Got here a bit late yesterday, not really seen many things, but I shall collect for you what we're seeing here. Hope you're all doing well. Just got to get out in the rain and enjoy it.
discovered cows who appeared to have been abandoned to die. To produce milk, cows have to give birth to a calf every year. For 7 months of the year, they are nurturing a growing fetus and giving huge quantities of milk at the same time. The result has been a complete bodily breakdown. Although at 3 a.m. the team called out an emergency vent to see how responsive she was, who agreed it was necessary to euthanize one of the cows to end its suffering. The second cow was denied this mercy, the vet claiming that she might be receiving treatment on the farm. This is the latest US law, zero grazing. These animals will never leave this shed, never walk out of the grass. It's all too common to see shepherds on dairy cows. Constant birthing can cause them serious nerve damage, and they lose control of their hind legs doing the splits. Shepherds keep them upright so they can continue to give birth and contribute to profitability. The conditions shown in this film are not from a few road operators, but mostly big national producers. These are so-called enriched cages, which produce over 50% of all UK eggs.
I can't believe anybody in their right mind wants to do this to animals. But here it is. This is how these produced. They're just living on top of their own corpses. This place can't even be bothered to take out dead birds. This little hen here, she's never going to be taken to a vet. She's never going to be treated kindly. At the end of this brutal existence of just standing in this barren cage on a wire mesh floor, she's just going to have her throat cut, and she's going to be turned into chicken soup and chicken nuggets.
This is a free-range farm. Broiler chickens such as these provide over 90% of all chicken consumed in the UK. This is gravel farm that supplies Avara Farms, one of the UK's biggest turkey companies. This barbaric neck dislocating device can cause a prolonged and painful death. Gravel farm also has a red tractor improvement, or rather it did. It was revoked following widespread media coverage, resulting from viewers.
So that was pretty harrowing there, seeing some of that footage. Yeah, I feel like this. You could hear all the chickens then, like cooing, and hear their fear and their suffering and pain, you know. And you know, it's terrible that we treat animals this way, you know, just for a couple minutes, seconds of pleasure, that we can, you know, recreate these textures and flavors without the suffering, without the pain. So yeah.
Which is amazing.
Woo! Looking amazing. So you're from?
I am the vigilante.
You are the vigilante.
The vigilante.
The vigilante.
Indeed.
The vigilante. And what do you stand for?
Truth, justice, and limitless compassion.
Yes.
All the good stuff, all the basic stuff.
Yes, this is it. Thank you.
Same superhero union as Vivi the super vegan. I keep getting asked. We do different cities.
Nice.
It's just like a huge emergency.
That's good. Well, thank you for your service, for your help.
Where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube, Aisha Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah, and
You can find
on
me
Instagram,
The
Alt-C9.
Vigilante.
So yeah, so where can we find you? Thevigilante.com, yeah?
Thevigilante.com, The Vigilante on Instagram, The Vigilante everywhere.
Brilliant.
Pretty much. Where there is a veg symbol, I'll be there.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Beautifulness. Oh my God. Anything you can do, we can do vegan. So suck my balls. Yeah. Hey peeps, so classic British weather. Got our bougie bougie ice creams in the rain. Oh yeah, summertime. Summertime. Loving it. You're right there, Greg.
We're having fun.
British summer. If you've not tried, you have to try Booja Booja ice cream. It's my favourite ice cream. My favourite flavour is chocolate salted caramel. Best flavour ever. Two of my favourite flavours combined. It's all organic ingredients and simple ingredients. So yeah, none of those additives and stuff, and all vegan. So good. So yeah, got a new hoodie. Rebel with a cause. Whoop whoop. So yeah, definitely try Booja Booja ice cream. It's so good.
Vegan Campout on 1, 2, 3, make some noise! Absolutely epic, and that's why we love vegans. Now, I know that you're ready for our next guest. Some of you, like me, might remember watching him on the Really Wild show. Does anyone remember that? Spring Watch, Autumn Watch, Winter Watch, all of those. He's a nature photographer, author, TV presenter. He took part in January 2019, and here he is today, 2.5 years later, at Vegan Campout, talking to you. Let's make the most noise. It's an honour to introduce Chris Packard.
You should never clap at the beginning, it might be crap. Thank you very much for that rapturous welcome, and also for the invitation to come to the Vegan Campout. Don't worry, it's not raining, everything will be okay. We don't care about rain, do we, in the UK? Now look, I've got a couple of things I've got to tell you before I get started, because there are things that really excite me. And I think they might excite you as well. So, there's a plant that grows in the UK. It's called evening primrose. Some of you might know it. It's quite a straggly plant. It goes to 1 metre high. It's got yellow flowers on it. And it's a native of North America, actually. It's not a species which naturally grows here. It's been introduced. It grows on sort of rough grounds, what we call a ruderal plant. It's a bit rude, it just pops up out of nowhere. It grows on gravel, that sort of thing. Supermarket car parks, lay-bys, favourite spot of the evening primrose. So when you look at it, you may think it's quite an unremarkable species, or you might be using evening primrose oil for something, and it's used for a great range of different ailments. There's debate about how effective the oil is, if I'm honest with you, but I'm not going to talk to you about the oil, I'm going to talk to you about the plant. Now what's interesting about the plant is that some science that's been done in Israel recently has shown that this plant can hear. Now I'm not going to tell you it's got ears, but what it does is it uses its flowers to capture very precisely the sounds made by buzzing bees. So the flowers themselves are not exactly conical, they're more cupped. And then the sexual apparatus of the plant is in the centre. I suppose if you look at the plant, you might think it looks a little bit like one of the Doppelbang radar astronomical telescopes. That's the general shape of the way that the petals are arranged. But this is no evolutionary accident, because those petals are so shaped that when the bee approaches the flower, the vibrations from its buzzing wings are captured by the petals and focused into the centre of it where that sexual apparatus is. And it clearly excites the sexual apparatus. Because when the bee approaches the flower produces more nectar than it would normally produce. It actively responds to the buzzing bee's wing beat. So, the bee arrives, buzzes around, sound is vibration is captured by the flower, focuses to the centre, produces more nectar, the bee lands, gets more nectar, gets a bigger treat, and as a consequence spends more time on the flower, getting covered in more pollen, which it then carries away to another evening primrose flower, thus affecting pollination, giving the plant the capacity to move despite the fact it's rooted in the ground. So the pollen is its method of moving around. And what's interesting is that once the bee has buzzed near the flower, the plant, not just in that flower, but in all of the other flowers there, produces more nectar for 5 minutes. So that if any other pollinators come, and generally bees tend to come in groups along with other pollinating insects, they too get a greater reward, and therefore take more pollen, and it increases the chance of this species sexually reproducing. Isn't that fantastic? In a lay-by, on the side of a supermarket car park, there's a little yellow flower that we all might have pushed our trolleys past, which is actually listening to bees. And it is very specific that it's the bee, because when the scientists took other insects, flies, surface hoverflies, and you'll know if you've had a bee or a wasp or a fly or a hoverfly in the car, they all buzz differently because they're beating their wings at different speeds. But this plant has very specifically evolved so that it can maximally detect the buzz of the bee rather than the fly or the hoverfly or the wasp. A plant that can hear a bee and respond. Do you know what I love about that? I've known that plant all my life, and I'm 60 years old, and I've only just learned this about that plant. It's grown in gardens that I've had. It used to grow in a wall of a house that I rented in Portswood, Southampton. And to be honest with you, didn't really give it a second look most of the time, but all the while, it was listening to bees. Amazing. What is undeniably attractive about this particular little chick is that in the space of just a few weeks, it's going to transform from this beautiful, cute, little opportunity for life to flourish into this. Because this is what we call a Franken chicken. Franken chickens are bred to grow really, really quickly, 4 or 5 weeks to get to their maximum size. But in real life, the chicken would take months to do that in a natural, wild sense. And the downside of the Franken chicken is that because it grows so quickly and gets so heavy, its legs can't keep up. So it collapses. It basically just can't hold the weight of its body. And then it falls onto the ground, where it and thousands of other chickens are just shat. And bird shit is highly concentrated. Birds don't want to waste much water in their poo or their urine. So it's very concentrated and it's full of essentially ammonia. So when the chicken gets this on its skin, it burns it, destroys the skin to get open wounds. Now, I don't need to keep going and telling you what a life of abject misery this chicken and the 10,000 other chickens living in its shed have. This isn't happening in the UK's chicken comes from. This is happening in the UK. So why is it that we love the swallow? I'm a bee one if I'm reincarnated. And yet, lots of people don't think twice about eating another bird like the chicken. Why is it that I love my two poodles, Sid and Nancy, more than anything? Don't tell my partner. She loves them more as well. And we invest all our time and energy making sure that they live the longest, happiest, healthiest lives they possibly can. And yet, many people just don't think twice or at all about eating a pig. Can anyone honestly here tell me what's the difference, not the obvious species difference, what's the difference between a dog and a pig? Why is it? Since I've been a child, I haven't been able to get my head around that. Because probably I've refused to be conditioned to the idea that it's okay to eat one thing, so it's definitely not okay to eat the other one.
It has been an absolute pleasure to be your host over the course of this weekend. Never in my life have I experienced an audience like you. So before we bring Russell to the stage, give yourselves a really big round of applause. Now, I don't want to keep you waiting anymore because I know you're ready. So let's welcome to the stage comedian, actor, radio host, writer, activist. He's informative, insightful, and bloody hilarious. It's Russell Brand!
Good evening. The beautiful community of vegan campouts. Radical vegans, calm vegans, sexy vegans, people pretending to be vegans. That's why they're here for this campout. People that come with a vegan friend that are starting to feel a bit anxious. Thank you for having me. As you know, I am one of you. Look, I appreciate that you want to shout stuff out, but it's going to be difficult for me.
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Coming up to the bit of the moonwalk soon.
You gonna do the moonwalk?
more thing to say. This next song is sick. Of course it is.
I love it with like music artists. When you hear them like singing, you don't really like hear their accent that much, and then they start talking.
You're like, this song passed away a few weeks ago. So it's important. Reach out. I just want to say R.I.P. Joey Jordison. Liam, hit it.
Look at this misty effect. It's haunting almost. It's beautiful. There's this fog in the air. The fog, the mystical fog that coats us, ready for the full moon coming. Oh, now I've zoomed out, you can't see it as much, but the ominous light.
Oh, cheese.
Hey peeps, so it's been a pretty awesome time at Campout. Lots of lovely loving vibes and just nice, everyone being a bit normal and coming together. I feel like I should have shown you all these vegan vendors way more. Look at all that. But yeah, this year I feel like I've been a bit more chill and low-key, and there's not really been as much on to fully immerse in, but it's just been nice to be with friends, be with vegans. Sorry, I'm looking very tired and bedraggled at this moment. I need to go get some food.
It's good to hear an activist. Hi, can we get chocolate French pancakes? You taking cash?
Yeah.
And it's outrageously creamy.
Rocks, but not have the softness.
But it just made me laugh that, like,
Ice creams.